Hey, it's Mike again. Today we're going to talk about horsepower ratings. If you're shopping for a tractor, you'll notice that all tractors have at least two ways of rating horsepower. They have engine horsepower and PTO horsepower, or power takeoff horsepower. And I'm going to talk today about the differences in the two. The engine horsepower is real easy. If you could separate the tractor and take it apart at the engine, hook a dyno up to it and see what the engine was putting out in terms of horsepower, that's what your engine horsepower is. The problem is, all tractors have parasitic loss between the engine and the power takeoff shaft that will drive most of your implements. And what those are: hydraulic pumps to raise and lower your 3-point or to run remote hydraulics, power steering, and if your tractor is equipped, hydrostatic drive, all take horsepower out of the engine. So there's a drop in horsepower from the back of the engine to the PTO shaft. Now, in the old days in the farm equipment business, we all talked about PTO horsepower because that was what was important. If you were buying a brush hog or some implement or a baler to go in the back of your tractor and the baler took 70 horsepower, you needed at least 70 PTO horsepower. A few years ago, some of the tractor manufacturers thought, well, we'll just start calling our tractors by their engine horsepower because it's a bigger number. It sounds like a bigger tractor. And that's what they did. On compact tractors, they're almost always referred to by their engine horsepower. The reason that's important for you, if you're buying an implement that requires 40 PTO horsepower and you have a 40 engine horsepower tractor, your tractor's not big enough. So if you're looking for an implement to go in back of the tractor and it's a PTO powered implement, find out what the PTO and that horsepower, and that number will always be lower than engine horsepower, what the PTO horsepower of your tractor is, and make sure you match that to the requirements of the implement.